Welcome back to my channel. So a few, 2 weeks ago, we made CrossFit Games predictions as to who would come top 5 women and top 5 men. This is us reviewing that and including our favourite moments from the CrossFit Games. So do you want to just start off and just say our top 5 predictions?
Well, I think I nailed it for the men, to be honest.
Okay, talk me through this.
Can't justify it. Well, I put Pat Vellner for the win.
Yeah, he came second, so...
He came second. I put Roman for second. He came third. I put Justin in there.
Yeah. Don't know what happened to Justin. I feel like there's something wasn't right, something wasn't going. We both think that he was ill or something happened. He did fall off the bike a few times in event 1, which could have been the culprit, but don't know what happened to Justin Medeiros in 2023 will be unknown until he discloses said information.
And I put Jeff Adler in the top 5.
Yeah.
And he won.
Yeah. So your top 5 wasn't actually that far off.
No, I did alright.
Yeah.
Well, not on the women's side.
Not on the women's. Men's, I didn't do that well. I put Roman Krenikov as first. Obviously, he came third because he was injured. Second, Justin Medeiros, because I thought the Justin Medeiros would come second. And then Patrick Vellner, I put third. He came second, so that's actually not bad. Then I had the 2 wild cards who I just thought I would throw in there: Lazar Djukic and Fabian Benito.
But we did say that our predictions are based on nothing.
Sweet FA.
And maybe next year
We'll
they
be
won't
closer.
be based on nothing.
Yeah.
But I think we did pretty well.
I think we did do pretty well, and I think all of the men. It was a fight amongst the men, which was really fun to watch.
Well, it was until Roman
Roman
hurt himself, because I think loads of people are going to say that Jeff Adler won because Roman got injured, but Jeff took the lead from Roman with 2 events left
to go.
So there's no way of knowing that. If Roman was still in the lead and then Jeff overtook him because Roman was injured, then fine. But he overtook him in an event where they had to put the sandbags over the logs and then go back and do, I think, ring muscle ups. And he beat him fair and square. I think he won it. There's not really anything else that you can say. He went into the lead and then Roman got hurt. I think Jeff would have taken it anyway. I think Roman was starting to burn out a little bit.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Well, I don't know actually.
I don't think so. I think that it would have been a fight till the end, but obviously Roman wasn't able to.
But because Jeff was catching him up and he was creeping up on him.
I think the problem with the end of the CrossFit Games was those last events were all about strength. If you were strong, they were events for you. Those events, if you had been falling behind the pack a little bit, but you were really strong, then you would have come through, which we saw.
Which is why it was perfect for Laura.
Yeah. So going on to top 5 women, obviously Emma Lawson was in the top. Was winning, and
she
then
led from
the 4 last events, Laura just smashed it because she's strong and really fit. My predictions: Laura Horvath first.
Laura was never going to not win, in my opinion. I think she was always going to win.
One of my favourite moments is when she's she did it twice, I think, comes to the end of the event and just says let's go.
Yeah.
And you can just see it in her eyes.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah, it's really cool.
I actually didn't do too bad at this either. I had Laura in first.
Yeah.
I put Gabby in third. She came fourth. And I put Alex Gazan in fourth. She came fifth. So I have 3 of my 5 were actually in the top 5. It's just Annie.
Yeah, we both put Annie in there.
But Annie just seemed like she was there for a good time.
Yeah.
Because even when she was dying,
just
even
smiling.
finishing, she's just smiling.
Just constantly smiling. So Laura Horvath first, tick. Danielle Brandon 9th. I put her in a second. Annie Forrester obviously didn't come top 5. Emma Carey, neither. But I did get Gabby Magala, so I got 2 out of 5.
Yeah, so I got 3 in the men.
3 in the
and 3 in the women. So did I win?
Yeah.
What do I get?
Nothing.
Okay, moving on. It was sad about Danielle Brandon.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened. I felt like it was all to play for Danielle Brandon, and then personally, it just seemed like some events just didn't go her way, and then she just lost it. She just seemed to have checked out.
And I know it must be really hard, and I don't know, I probably would do the same thing if you're having not the best time and not performing how you think you are, and then you're getting near the end, and it's not going your way, you just think, I'm not going to win now anyway.
Yeah,
what is the point? But it was a bit sad to see that she sort of checked out mentally, because some of the events she was
Well, one of my favourite moments was the handstand one.
Yeah.
But she even said that she expected herself to win, and everybody else expected her to win because she is just the queen on her hands.
That's what she does.
So, yeah, it's just what she's good at.
Yeah.
So that was one of my favourite
moments. But it was
just
sad. But Alex Gazan came in the top 5, and her shoes came off in that event.
That was another one of my favourite ones. Yeah. Because that was amazing. She took off her shoes, took off her socks, then was told to put her shoes back on.
Yeah, which I think.
Fair enough, safety.
Yeah.
And then
A couple of other people crossed the line.
loads of other people.
Otherwise, she would have won it. She would have bumped herself up maybe in the points.
Yeah.
We were quite close in points, I think. Those women, obviously, apart from Laura and Emma Lawson, who were in like the 900s, and Ariel Lowen in the high 800s, it was like 4th and 5th. Gabby and Alex Kazan were only 20 points apart, 22 points apart. And then Alexis Raptis was only, 10 points behind that.
Two of my favourite moments are both Laura. First of all, clean and jerk 120.
Yeah.
That's the most insane thing I've ever seen, and it looked like paper. And she said it was like a PB, because she said she'd never done both of them together, had cleaned more and had jerked it, but had never done both together, so that was really cool. And then the second one was when she just came, so she was like running a bit further behind on the pig event, like that huge block thing, and then she was like 6th. And then she just picked up the pig and just like threw it as if it weighed nothing.
Because none of them could, because they'd done one way, done all the stuff at the end, and then when they're coming back, they're all knackered, weren't they?
Yeah.
And she just hammered away at it, and then all of a sudden she was in the lead.
Yeah, picked it up like it was nothing. So strong, and I loved watching it. That was one of my favourite things.
Yeah, that was cool. And then the one with the sandbags like over the logs.
Oh yeah, that was paper.
That she just dominated as well, because it's not hard for her, is it?
No, she's just strong.
Because she's so strong, and she's also tall. And I think all those other girls would have been struggling to get over those logs because they were so small.
Yeah, well we saw it, didn't we? A few of the girls couldn't
physically, or they'd get to it with the bag and try and throw the bag over, and the bag will just hit it and just fall on the floor because they can't get it over the top. And she was just an animal, wasn't she? And then they had the parallel bars and the sled pull one. And let's be honest, the sled pull, she's just going to pull the hell out of it.
Yeah, because I feel like the parallel bars and the double unders, that's just CrossFit. Like everybody can do, everybody who's conditioned to CrossFit can do that. It's the sled pull that's heavy, that probably not so conditioned, and she's just really strong. I felt like all of the last events were just made for her to win, to come out and just win everything.
And on that event, I watched it. Ren Fikowski did his double unders with his hands in his face.
Weird, right? You told me that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. It might have been a grip thing.
And he said that's what helped him, because I think he won. that event. And he said he wasn't expected to win it, but he had his hands this way like that. And then that event was where Roman did single leg double unders, which was so sad.
That was the saddest thing I ever watched, I think.
And then Tia called it. We watched Tia's video, and she said, watch how CrossFit Games put single leg double unders into the games next year now. Because it looks like hard but not impossible. So she was like, guaranteed we get single leg double unders in the games at some point, like next year or the year after, which you can see happening.
Bet your bottom dollar. Right.
I think both of us loved the Olympic total.
Yeah, we did. Although I found it strange that they only had 2 attempts. I wish that they'd done it 3 attempts. And it's like 1 safe attempt, 1 get a little bit better, and then 1 Hail Mary. Everything out there.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just because I'm
I understand the time constraints, but I always liked the last man standing. Who can keep snatching until you can't snatch it anymore. That was always more fun, I think, than just letting people hit a total with 2 attempts. But that guy did 180, Jack Farlow.
Was that one of your favourite moments?
Yeah. 180 clean and jerk.
That's absolutely insane. In flats as well.
Another guy, I can't remember his name, who snatched really heavy, snatched like 143. And it's just, I think he cleaned like 170 as well, clean and jerk. It's just insane. And because they were lower down, they sort of lifted first. So it was like 20 seconds, and they were the first ones to lift in the group, and you were like, hang on a second, that guy just clean and jerked 180, and then the camera's like moving on to the next person, and you're like, this should have been like the last lift.
Yeah.
That's why I like the rising bar. He should have been like, these 2, that guy's just done 170, so this guy does 75, he tries it, and he can't do it, and then he puts 180 on, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it almost feels like it wasn't as big as it should have been.
Like when Matt cleaned like 168 or whatever it was, or 170 that year, when it was just last man standing on the bar.
Yeah.
And Tia did it as well, like 118. They were the last ones to lift, and you get to go mad, and the crowd will stand up and go crazy. And the same with the snatchers. They were snatching was it Guimel Heros or something? Snatched like 137 a few years ago, and everyone's just standing up and going nuts. And it's last man standing just is way cooler, I think. And then my favourite moment is just my boy Pat.
We were watching the events, and there was like a few times where they went, "Here comes Pat Vellner."
Yeah, that's my favourite thing ever.
Yeah.
I want that as my text tone on my phone. Here comes Pat Vellner. That's what I'm going to listen to in headphones when workouts get tough. I'm just going to have that playing.
What? Here comes Pat Vellner.
Here comes Pat Vellner.
Here comes Pat.
That's what I'm going to think about when I'm struggling. Because he does it all the time. He openly admits, and yes, he came second because Roman couldn't complete the last two, but he still would have been on the podium.
Yeah, he still would have, yeah.
And
I would have been right then, because he would have been third.
yeah, and he was having an awful competition, really. And he was just like picking up good places here and there, and he took a win in the interval one where they had to jump over the box, and then they had to do the climb over the box, and he took the win in that. And I think he says in interviews, he's like, it's not about the first 2 days, it's about the last 2 days, and who can just keep moving and keep pushing and all this sort of stuff. And that's where he sort of etches his way up, and he went past Chandler Smith and all these other guys and just boop, 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 pushed himself up into the podiums. I think that's cool. And who knows, he might win next year.
Thanks so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Ciao. I don't know why I did that.
Ciao. Denied. CrossFit.
CrossFit.
Yes. Thumbnail. Top 5.
Can you see yourself?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
You're like this.
Mm.
That's what I did.